Hello and welcome to a new ship tour in cooperation with ReiseJung. Today we're taking a look at the Porto Mirante, a very special ship sailing on the river Douro in Portugal. And as always, we're starting with a few general facts. The Porto Mirante is the second ship of the company Scylla in Portugal, following the Andorinha, and now there's also the Riviera Rose as a third ship. The ship was built in 2024 and has the maximum measurements that are possible on the river Douro. It's 80 meters long, 11.4 meters wide, and around 40 crew members are taking care of the up to 120 guests on board. As always, we are starting our ship tour on the lowest deck, which is the Emerald deck here on the Porto Mirante. And here we have 11 cabins with a size of 16 square meters. They have smaller windows that cannot be opened, so these are the most reasonable priced cabins on the ship. Here on the left side we have an elevator that connects all inside decks of the ship, and also on the left side there is the gym, which is pretty spacious, especially when you consider that the ship is rather small with only 80 meters of length, and it is also very well equipped with weights and sports equipment by the company Techno Gym. And now we've already seen the lowest deck, the Emerald deck, so we can head up to the middle deck, which is the Ruby deck. And as you can see, we're ending up straight away in the restaurant. The ship, of course, has a different layout compared to ships that we are usually seeing on the regular river cruise, rivers like Rhine or Danube, but it still follows the same basic design of other Scylla ships, but the newer Scylla ships has an open design. So as you can see, there's an open area in the middle of the restaurant, and above there's a glass roof, so there's light from all sides, from above and from the sides, as there are big panoramic windows. Of course, there's enough space between the tables, and as you can see, we have a very nice and modern design, and of course also the furniture is very comfortable. This is the main restaurant of the ship, called Riverside Restaurant, and we will later on see a second restaurant as well. As the ship has 3 decks from front to end, we can now continue on this level on the Ruby deck. Here on the left side we have the public toilets, and here we are in the cabin hallway of the middle deck. Here we have 24 cabins with French balconies and a size of around 17 square meters. We could head all the way to the end, and there are some stairs to get up to the diamond deck, the upper deck, but we are now using the stairs here in the atrium, because from these stairs we can enjoy the beautiful view down into the restaurant and up into the lounge, and we can also see the glass roof that I mentioned before. So also here you can see that it is a quite luxurious and beautiful ship. Here we have the reception area and the cruise manager's desk, and there's a small onboard shop in the atrium area. Here on the left side there's a water station, and here we can also see this very beautiful design of the ship with all those open areas with a lot of light, big panoramic windows. So when the weather is not so nice or it's too hot outside, you can also enjoy the landscape from the beautiful lounge through the big panoramic windows. There's of course comfortable seating available, and also here there's a lot of light due to the glass roof. As always, we can also take a look at the pictures of the lounge, and we can clearly see that this is a brand new ship with a very nice and modern design, which differs a little bit from the other Scylla ships, but you can still clearly see that it is a ship of the company Scylla, which has just been adapted to the very special river on which it is sailing, the Douro in Portugal. And of course in the next videos we will also see more of the river, and I will tell you a bit more about the life on board, about the ship, and of course we will also take a look at the cabins. Now we've seen the panoramic lounge and we can head outside, and also on the Porto Mirante there's a front outdoor terrace where you can sit and enjoy the landscape. This area is also partly covered, which also means that there is shadow available, of course. And now we can head up to the sun deck, and here you will see the biggest differences to regular river cruise ships, and there are 2 reasons why this sun deck is much more beautiful than on other river cruise ships. Reason number 1 is here on the Douro you usually have very nice weather, so you're spending a lot of time on the sun deck. And the second reason is this ship is only sailing on this river, so it just needs to fit under the bridges of the Douro, and they are a bit higher than on a river like the Main, for example, and therefore the sun deck doesn't need to be folded down. As you can see, there's the glass roof on the right side, and the ship cannot get lower than this glass roof. That means all the furniture can remain even on the lowest bridges. While it's on a cruise on the mine, everything on the sun deck has to be folded down. And due to this, here on this ship it is possible to have a nice proper pool. It is even possible to swim in this pool. It's not intended for swimming, still a bit small for swimming, but it is possible. I tried it. But of course it's more intended to sit down in nice cool water and enjoy the beautiful landscape whilst the ship is sailing. Here in the middle we have very comfortable sun lounges. They are almost like day beds, and of course also the regular sun lounges are very nice and comfortable. In general, all the furniture on the sun deck is very nice and comfortable, so you can really enjoy the beautiful landscape of the River Douro in style, in a very comfortable way, on the, for sure, the most beautiful sun deck I've ever seen on a river cruise ship. Here in the back we also have a bar. Also that makes of course sense, because there are much more guests on the sun deck than on a regular river cruise, so it's easier to have the bar here on the sun deck, and of course that's also very nice for the guests that they can get their drinks here directly on the sun deck. And as you can see, there's also something very interesting behind the bar. There is an indoor area on the sun deck. That of course is not possible on other river cruise ships, but here it is possible due to a smart trick, because the roof of this indoor area can be lowered down to the height of the chairs and the tables, and therefore it's possible to have this area here on the sun deck. This is the Skylounge, and it is a restaurant that is used for lunch and dinner. For lunch you can get, for example, burgers, but also some local dishes just like in the main restaurant, and in the evening this area becomes the steakhouse. For this you need a reservation, but it is for free, it is included. You just need to make the reservation in the evening, and for lunch you can just go there and decide spontaneously which restaurant you want to visit. We can now head back down to the diamond deck, the upper deck. Here at the back of the ship there's another outdoor area where you can sit down and enjoy the stern wave, and this is also the smoking area of the Porto Mirante. And from here we can now head inside again into the Skylounge, and we can see that the upper part of the windows can be lowered, and we will see that in one of the upcoming videos how exactly that works. Here we also have another water station, and if it is an all-inclusive cruise there's also a coffee machine available 24/7. And from the Skylounge we can now head back into the cabin hallway of the diamond deck. On this ship there are no suites, all cabin. Also on the upper deck, the diamond deck, have a size of 17 square meters, and they come with French balconies. As I mentioned, in my next video we will take a closer look at one of those cabins, and of course we will also take a closer look at the food on board, and obviously I will show you a lot of the very beautiful landscape on the River Douro, and I will also show you what a ReiseJung cruise on the Douro looks like. Here we have a picture of the reception area and the cruise manager's desk, and now we've seen all public areas of the beautiful Porto Mirante, a very luxurious, wonderful ship. Here you can see when the next video, first video on board, will be uploaded, and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link, and hope to see you in my next video then.